Hello, hello. So, as we know already, unless you've been living under a rock, if you're in the body of Christ, walking with the Lord, then you've probably came across one or two messages by now by somebody telling you that your adversaries and those who've come up against you are either going under or already under judgment, right? So we know that once we hit Rosh Hashanah on October 2nd, I put the word out about it already a couple weeks ago. And side note, don't mind if I can't talk lately. It's just the devil trying to attack everything I'm saying, because when the Lord gives me straight truth, straight facts, and especially when I'm calling out the devil and the members of his team, he doesn't like that. So he sends out like the Leviathan spirit, right? Which is what causes us to trip up on our words. That's the Leviathan spirit. And so I'll get more into that anyways, because that pertains to this message. But since we hit Rosh Hashanah on October 2nd and we entered into this 5785, the new Hebrew year, that is kind of when like the Lord showed me that the judgment was already going on before that. It was going on over the whole summer, like June, July, August, September. But October was really where it really like swung into action. So these adversaries of yours, and of course everyone's journey is different, but they've been going under judgment for quite some time now. And for those that were maybe escaping it, biding their time, trying to offer little trinkets, like little bits and pieces to the Lord here and there to try and squeak by, it's coming for them. All I know is that as we hit October 2nd, Rosh Hashanah, that was like the marker from one side. Oh, the Lord's saying the pendulum swung from one side all the way to the other. So the Lord's reminding me about a word I put out a couple months ago talking about the pendulum, and that it was swinging from one side to the other, but that it hadn't made its full swing yet. And that's, of course, because I didn't know at the time, months ago, that it was going to finish the swing in October and Rosh Hashanah, right? But the Lord's just saying to me just now that that's what happened, was that the pendulum was all the way this time last year on the one side, and throughout the course of from October 2023 to October 2024, so last Rosh Hashanah to this Rosh Hashanah, the pendulum has been in motion, swinging from the far side to the other, so from the far right to the far left. Okay, now that we've went past Rosh Hashanah and we're now into Rosh Hashanah 2024, the new year, it's made its full rotation all the way to the other side. So it's went from the far right in October 2023 all the way now to the far left October 2024. So over the course of this last year, it's made its full motion, the Lord is saying. So because of that, the judgment has been underway, and now it's certifiably underway, okay? The Lord is saying that one of the ways that the adversaries that have been coming against you is experiencing this judgment, the Lord is saying it's in a subtle way, okay? The enemies have been expecting for there to just be this big, huge, suddenly moment. And I put a word out about this yesterday, about these suddenlies, right? And I'm not going to say that it suddenly won't happen, because I do believe there are some suddenlies in store in the future. And again, this goes on for you on a personal level in your personal world, but this also goes on the global scale. Like, I'm not going to get into naming names, but there's a certain politician in the highest seat of power you can attain in Canada that is so full of pride and narcissism and ego that they refuse to step down. Even though it's what would be the best move, the most selfless and the most humble and the most wisest, strategic, kindest move, humble move, the Lord is saying, right, Lord, thank you. The most humble move would be to step down, okay? But this person refuses to do it. This person thinks that because they have this reprobate mind sent from the devil, so full of pride, so full of ego, and this is where Leviathan comes into play. The Lord's saying Leviathan's been unleashed, Jezebel's been unleashed, Python spirit's been unleashed. There's so much, and these are just demons, okay? The label doesn't matter, they're demons. The devil himself has released his minions, as in these demons, and these demons are sitting on the backs of so many people right now. And these people that have demons sitting on their backs are in your and my personal lives. They're in our neighbors' lives. They're in our co-workers' lives. They're, in our country's lives. And some have small positions. Others have grand positions, right? In various careers and things like that. And because of these demons are riding them every day, 24/7. They don't get any rest. And the Lord is saying one of the hallmarks of this judgment is that these demons are making these people full of evil things, like I talked about the 7 deadly sins. So things like lust and pride and ego and narcissism and such. So therefore, they're not seeing it for how bad it is. So all the rest of everybody else that's on the outside looking in, the observers, the witnesses on the outside, they can see how deep of a pit this person is standing in, how deep of a hole they've dug for themselves, okay? But this person, because they have blinders on their eyes, which I talk about this a lot on the channel too, the veil is there, and you get a veil on your eyes when you're in the world, right? Sunglasses, you can't see things clearly. This veil has made them not perceive things accurately, so they don't think that it's as bad as it is, or maybe they do to a degree, but they think narcissistically that they can turn things around, they can fix it, they're in control, they're in power, they're idolizing either themselves or others, or the powerful position that they're in. If they have any bit of control, whether it's a small amount of control or a huge amount of control or anywhere in between, this control and power measure that they've been gifted to by the devil makes them think that they can somehow get their way out, crawl out and fix things or whatever, and they cannot. Just this picture I'm painting for you, this is a judgment, okay? This is one of the forms of the judgment that the Lord has sent on these people, is that this delusion. So the devil creates the delusion and confusion, and unfortunately these people are full of the delusion and confusion. They think that things aren't the way that they really are, or they think that they can fix things and they really can't. Meanwhile, simultaneously, those around them see how bad it is, and they're being heckled and mocked and judged and mistreated. They're being abused, the Lord is saying. They're so blinded that they're being verbally abused, mentally, emotionally abused, in some cases even physically abused. They're being demeaned and all kinds of stuff, and they don't care. They're just taking it anyways because they have such a grandiose sense of themselves that's altered, by the way, that's not accurate. They think that it's not that bad, or they can handle it, or that they just need to try harder, or, they need to be stronger, or change up their strategy, or something like this, right? But the Lord is saying that He's already decided that this person, these people that come against you, are not going to win. And that the people in these political seats are not going to win either. Whoever has these demons riding on their back that is full of these demonic attributes that I've been talking about, jealousy, envy, anger, lust, pride, greed, etc., they're not going to win. They've already lost. Whatever they're in, position, control, power, whatever, respect, the Lord is saying, respect of the of people or persons around them. Those people have lost respect for them. So therefore, they are not able to lead, guide, maneuver, nothing. They're of no use. They're completely reprobate, full of these demons. So when someone's like this, the Lord cuts them off and throws them in the burn pile, like the Bible talks about. They're of no fruit to the Lord. So the Lord is just letting them sit in it, sit in the muck and the mire and in the puddle and in the pit, and just deal with it. And they're like losing every day as they sit there. And so they're expecting this suddenly judgment to come along. And because this suddenly judgment isn't coming along, they think that they're still in a safe zone. Like it's not too bad, right? But they don't realize how bad it really is, but everyone else around them does. So therefore, unfortunately for them, they're going to continue to receive this abuse and this mistreatment. They're not going to get their way out. They're not going